Alright guys, what's going on? This is Carlos, CEO of G.A.R Capital. Thank you so much for stopping by for our aftermarket recap. I'm here every day, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, here to answer your questions about the market. So if you do like these videos, bottom right corner of your screen, click on that, turn on notifications, subscribe to our channel, like our videos. Usually when I do Friday videos, most people don't get on, so it's usually a quick one. Everyone's already out to happy hour, I totally get it, but still, this needs to be done. Still need to be recapped. Maybe you can watch this later. Dow Jones closed down 201. The NASDAQ gained 0.59%. S&P up 0.08%. The VIX closed below 20, key level, 1919. Equal weight S&P down 0.17%. Value stocks took a hit, mainly financials. We'll go over that. Dollar was up 0.40%, 95.16. 1772, 1.772 for the U.S. 10-year. Yields did jump. Gold was down 0.29% on GLD, silver down 0.61%, SLV. On credit markets, high yield credit fell slightly, 0.09%. High yield credit, investment grade credit, down 0.88% after being green yesterday. The Russell did gain today, 0.33%, 2162. Crude oil jumped, 84.27 a barrel. Remember, I'm still watching for that $100 level. That's the key level. $2.42 for gasoline futures, up 1.67%. And crypto also bounced, 33.40 for Ethereum futures, 43,330 for Bitcoin futures. Nice green day. Again, kind of crypto's kind of leading the way, right? Like I've been saying, that's kind of a leading indicator there. So what happened today? Well, we got some key bounces off key levels. E-mini futures showed right on the hour. Again, that Monday low, we hovered below there. That was a good level to possibly buy, and then it bounced. I was waiting and actually expecting for us to tank a little bit more and kind of hit around 45.90, but that didn't happen, and we just got that bounce. Kind of weird news that came out was that Netflix was raising their prices, so a lot of growth companies started bouncing, interestingly enough. NASDAQ, again, leading the way. Very similar price action to the S&P, right near that Monday low support. So we did kind of, get away from those lows. We did not end the week green for the most part in terms of the stock market. But again, nice to see a retest and a bounce. That's usually pretty bullish. So again, we need to see if we can crack that 100-day moving average of right around 46.82 on S&P, and we go from there. Was looking at the price action on Apple. It's been hovering around that 100-day moving average now for the past 7 hours, including pre-market. So again, not out of the woods yet, but again, kind of similar to the S&P. You can see, again, it's low beta. That's how it works. But again, nothing has really changed in terms of the macroeconomic backdrop. Yeah, the VIX fell below 20, but yields were up and the dollar was up. So you would think even with yields up, banks would have held up better, but they didn't. So again, banks like Citi and JPM were down. Let's go over the heat map together, and we'll go over it. Let's take a look at the sectors today. Energy, the big winner. Technology, balance, communication services. It was a pretty ugly day for a little bit. NASDAQ was kind of holding up. Real estate being the worst performer today. Industrials, financials down about 0.41%. So not terrible in terms of the broader sector. But JPM had its worst day after earnings in like 25 years. Wells Fargo was up. Bank of America was down. Citi was down 1.25. So the diversified banks, that means investment banks with retail, they were pretty mixed, other than Wells Fargo having a good quarter. But the quarters weren't bad, to be completely honest with you. I guess what we were expecting as traders was a little more of a beat in terms of earnings to justify their PEs, which were already kind of low. So I guess kind of the deal with the banks now is like, yeah, they're value stocks, but are they too expensive value stocks? So again, it's all about price at the end of the day. Price is really the driver. See, Tesla was up, Amazon was up, Facebook, Google. When those names are green, usually it's a good day for most people because they're usually heavily invested in those names. The S&P is about 30%, just those 6 names. Home Depot is down 3.87%. I own that. Disney was downgraded today, down 2.25%. Netflix was up on that price announcement. You can see, again, the restaurants, kind of the home improvements were red in the cyclicals, but yet the cyclicals was held up by Ford, not really Ford, but Tesla and Amazon. Those 2 big holders. And you see energy being green again, industrials being green again with that higher interest rate backdrop. That does help. So that's where we are. Monday, there is no market. Market is closed for Martin Luther King Day in celebration of his life and what he stood for, civil rights. That's great. So again, the market does close for that, but not for New Year's. So there you go. I mean, hey, everyone gets a day off. That's nice. So again, you do have 4 days for next week. Not much in terms of economic data. I was just looking at that before close. We do have some earnings coming. I'll send out that earnings calendar this weekend so you guys can take a look at it. We have a lot more to talk about on Tuesday, that's for sure, because we'll have earnings to look forward to, and we'll see some price action after futures. Futures on the CBOE is open on Monday, so futures traders, no, we're not closed. We are open. So there you go. Hey, Carlos, did you buy anything the last 3 days? The last thing I bought was SpyG, which I buy every week, and Roku. Those are two things I bought. Hello, Carlos. What do you think happened to JPM? JPM, again, I do believe that the earnings just weren't strong enough. It wasn't that much of a beat, and JPM was on the more of expensive side in terms of PE. So maybe just traders are just selling off due to that. It's been stuck in a range, honestly, for right around 167 to right around 148 after a nice break earlier last year. But it's kind of leveled off. It's had a kind of a big range between $30 or $25 on JPM. So you're talking about a 15% range in a sense. So that's where we are. Again, I think below 145 is a great time to reload on some JPM. I know I will. Their earnings are there, but again, it wasn't good enough. Remember, I was talking about multiples. Last night I was talking about price to earning, which was key. Again, we need to see if these earnings justify their stock price. JPM was just too expensive based on their earnings. Citibank was a little too expensive, oddly enough, even though it has one of the lowest PEs. So that may be a different story. I'd have to deep dive a little more into their earnings, but JPM's earnings were fine. But for the most part, again, even BlackRock fell today. It's about valuations. BlackRock did soar big time the past 24 months. So, it's done very well. But again, now it's just kind of coming back to a range to, I guess, more fair value based on their earnings. That's what the reaction tells me. Now, we'll have Bank of America, I believe, next week, and then we'll also get some more earnings reports as we go. But again, the key drivers here will be the growth names, the FANGs of the world, the techs, because we need to see if they justify their valuation of where they are. What do you anticipate for next week in terms of market movement? Again, it's nice to see we close below 20. So again, that gives me some optimism. Again, bouncing off that key level is just a retest and a bounce of that level. So that does provide support. Now the question is, do we get a leg up 46.81? I do expect that these kind of banks will be bought up next week. We had a nice little push in NASDAQ. So I think we'll get a nice bump up. But again, we don't have any news to come up otherwise. So again, a lot of the focus is going to be on earnings. I want to see if those multiples are justified and if investors are willing to pay high multiples in a rising rate environment. If it was a low rate environment, it's fine, but not in a rising rate environment. No. I see the Cowboy shirt always, man. I'm ready for it on Sunday. God, I can't wait. Are you looking to buy something next week? In terms of stocks, well, other than SpyG, I do that every week, but no. I do have some dividend stocks I was going to buy, but I do that every month. Anything in particular? No. I mean, if JPM continues to fall, maybe to down 145 or BlackRock hits 810, yeah, I may look at that as a possible worth a shot. But again, I'm still waiting for a nice pullback. I'm expecting a 10% correction in the market this year. So I'm trying to see if I can get a little some of that action. I was thinking maybe the summer, but we'll see. Right now, I have some liquidity and I'm ready to deploy it. Thinkorswim platform. Yep. What's up with ARKK? Look at the big names that were part of it. Tesla, they were sold. Palantir was down. Roku was down. Again, you know what they have in their portfolio. DraftKings was down. So again, you're talking about the bulk of the portfolio is down, and really except Tesla. Tesla is the largest holding. So it seems like they're selling Tesla to kind of prop up the other names. So ARKK hit another 52-week low, but they did bounce today with the NASDAQ. So again, ARKK is pretty close to the NASDAQ in a sense. Really, really close. So again, if the NASDAQ has a bad day, they're going to have a bad day. Thoughts on PDI? PDI, if you're talking about the dividend stock I own, it's a PIMCO dividend fund, I think. You're not really looking at the price, to be honest with you. You're really just looking at the dividend that they pay. And you think she's a one-hit wonder? No, I don't. I don't at all. I think history will be kind to Cathie Wood. I think people are just looking for that instant return, and that just doesn't exist. Again, she's willing to go out there and stick with the future, and I'm okay with that. I like that. All right, guys, we'll leave it there. Have a great rest of your Friday. We'll catch you guys on Tuesday for the morning note. Have a great weekend. Go Cowboys. Oh, yeah, I forgot my picks. I think everyone was asking about that, so I'll give you my picks. It was on Twitter. Give me a second. Ooh, here we go. Here's my picks for NFL. It's on the record. So you guys know. I'm pretty sure you guys don't care, but whatever. Patriots over Bills. I'm going to take the Patriots over the Bills. This is straight up, no gambling, just Patriots over Bills. Chiefs over Steelers. Bengals over Raiders. Cowboys over 49ers. Bucks over Eagles. I'll take Cardinals to beat the Rams in an upset. 2 upsets. Let's see what happens. All right, guys. Have a good one.